This is the Adjutant. If you're in the military or thinking about joining, one decision you make could determine whether you retire comfortably or struggle financially for the rest of your life. High-3 or the blended retirement system. Most service members don't fully understand the difference. Some are choosing blind, some are trust bad advice, and some don't even realize how much money is at stake. Today, I'm going to break this down in plain English with no jargon, no confusion, so you can make the smartest decision for your future. Now, military retirement is one of the most valuable benefits in the entire federal system, but not all retirement systems are equal. We now have two, and what are these two? You have the legacy, or High-3, and then you also have what is known as the blended retirement system, or the BRS. Now, only a small percentage of Americans get a guaranteed pension at all, and some service members actually get to choose between these two structures. Choose wisely, and you secure your future. You choose poorly, and you may leave hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table. So let's talk about the High-3. We're going to start off with that one. The High-3 is the traditional pension. It's simple, it's powerful, and most of all, it's predictable. Your retirement pay is based on your years of service, your highest 36 months of base pay, a multiplier of 2.5% per year. So what does all this basically mean? So at 20 years, you have 20 times 2.5 equals 50% of your base pay for life. At 30 years, you have 30 times 2.5% equals 75% of your base pay for life. No market risk. There's no investment required. Guaranteed income with annual cost of living adjustments, which is wonderful. So this is why many consider the High-3 one of the best retirement systems ever created. Now we're going to talk about the BRS. The blended retirement system was introduced to modernize the military retirement. So what does it do? It combines a smaller pension, but you have government TSP matching, you have a continuation pay mid-career, and it's portability if you leave the service early, which is actually wonderful. Now, under the BRS, the multiplier does drop to 2% per year. So at 20 years, you have 20 times 2% equals 40% pension. That's a 20% reduction compared to the High-3, but the BRS adds something new, and that's government contributions to your thrift savings plan. And that is a lot like your 401k plans for the civilian folks. Now, the TSP matching under the BRS. After 2 years of service, the government will match up to 5% of your base pay into your TSP. Folks, this is huge, especially for those of y'all who don't stay for 20 years, because under the High-3, if you leave early, you get nothing. But because under the BRS, you leave with your TSP balance, and that is something that is wonderful. I've heard many stories of folks who served for 15 years, didn't quite get their 20, and of course, they lost out on everything. So who does the High-3 actually favor? Well, that's a very good question. The High-3 strongly favors career service members, officers, senior enlisted, those confident that they will reach retirement, and those who value guaranteed income. If you plan to serve 20 plus years, your High-3 usually produces the highest lifetime pension. And you can kind of see why, particularly for those of y'all out there who are very familiar with using the market systems and looking at the stocks and able to do those types of. So who the BRS favors? Well, the BRS favors those who are unsure about a full career, those likely to separate early, those comfortable with investing, younger recruits, dual income household. It also rewards disciplined servers who maximize their TSP contribution. Let's look at some real world examples as we kind of dive a little deeper into this. Let's say you have two service members retire as E7 at 20 years. Your High-3 retiree gets 50% pension. Pretty straightforward. Your BRS retiree gets 40% pension plus their TSP savings. Now, over a lifetime, that pension difference alone can equal hundreds of thousands of dollars. But if the BRS member invested aggressively and consistently, the TSP could close the gap or even exceed it. Now, here's the hidden factor that we need to talk about, and that's behavior. Here's the truth that nobody ever talks about. BRS rewards, discipline. Your High-3 rewards longevity. If you don't contribute to TSP, your BRS becomes a bad deal. But if you do invest consistently, the BRS becomes powerful. Your behavior matters more than actually the system itself. I'm going to talk about some common mistakes that I've seen over my decades of serving in the military and being in federal service. Mistake number one is assuming BRS is always better. Mistake number two, ignoring your TSP contributions. Folks, if you just start contributing your TSP at a modest rate, particularly if you're going to be in the service a long time, you're leaving potential growth on the table. Mistake number three, not understanding the continuation pay. And mistake number four is planning career decisions without financial analysis. So no matter what you hear from any pundits out there, you always want to make sure that you do an analysis based off of your particular situation. So you might ask, well, how are you going to actually make the decision? Good question. You need to ask yourself, am I likely to serve 20 years? If you're likely to serve 20 years, maybe the blended retirement system might be better. Are you a discipline with investing? You're going to be able to take charge. Do you value guaranteed income or flexibility? What does my family situation look like? So all of this goes into your analysis. There is no universal answer, only the best answer for you. Now, military retirement is not just a benefit, it's a life-altering financial asset. Whether it's the High-3 or the blended retirement system, right for you depends on your career path, discipline, and long-term goals. But one thing is certain, folks, doing nothing or choosing blindly is the worst option of all. This is the Adjutant. If this helped you understand your future even a little bit better, consider subscribing, because my mission is simple: to help service members, veterans, and their families make smarter decisions with the benefits they've earned. Stay ready. Now see you in the next one. Shalom.